All right, hello, welcome, y'all. I was just clapping my hands to that, that little intro song, and I thought that it was my hands that was going, but it was the cymbals. Hi, welcome to the Fit Pro Show. Today we are talking about something super important and super destructive in some ways, y'all. You use your brands against yourselves like I can't even think of another thing to compare it to. But y'all will get so down on yourselves and um in your head about your visual brands and your name. Oh my God, the name, forget about it. And you will use that crap against yourselves and not do business and not sell and hold yourselves back because you think your brand's not perfect. We are going to talk today about how your brand is supposed to suck. I want it to suck during your first $100,000. So here it is. I know my brand is the worst. I'm sorry, not sorry. The Fit Pros Connect logo is from a long time ago. The name of the group is from, it was something I came up with like in 20 seconds when I changed the name of the group back last fall. My color scheme was just kind of drawn out of thin air. I know my brand sucks. You guys do this to yourselves. You're like, can I really be a big business if I don't have a catchy name and a super professional logo? I have to have a logo that looks like it was created by a professional designer, right? Will people trust me if I don't have that super professional brand created by a professional designer? If people don't see a little icon with my logo name and with everything that I put out there, are they going to take me seriously? Are they still going to buy from me? So today we are talking about your visual brand and how you don't need to look like the big guys in order to call in your best clients. I want you to stay to the end because we're going to talk about how the big boxes like Peloton and Beachbody are completely different than you because they have a different value proposition, because they have a different audience. Did you realize that? They have a different audience than you because their people want something completely different from them. Their people want something that is not the thing you offer. We are going to talk about how you are still in audience identification and development mode until you have made your first $100,000 and what that means for your branding. And we're going to talk about how to create a brand that reflects the size, story, and message and staffing size of your business. So, first, y'all, let's talk about branding for a second. I don't even have a name for this show, and I get hundreds of views every week. Hundreds of views. I've been calling it the Fit Pro Show. Lately, I've been calling it the Fit Pros Business Growth Show. I'm thinking of calling it the Fit and Healthy Business Show. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So, I don't even have a great name for this show, but let's just call it the Fit and Healthy Business Show today. So, this is the Fit and Healthy Business Show. This show is for fitness instructors, trainers, and coaches who are on the front lines of the direct to consumer movement. I'm Kelly Coulter. I've been a fitness instructor as well as an online marketing geek since the 90s. I believe that as coaches, we all have a unique mix of experiences, expertise, and personality that makes us perfect to serve a specific audience. And it's my job to help you find and serve that audience so that you can step away from the gym, so that you can serve the clients that you love, and so that you can make a real living doing it. Are you ready to make an impact in the lives of others while creating the life that you dream of for your family and for yourself? Let's do it. All right. So I started my business in 2014. I was an online marketing leader, meaning that I built websites, and then in 99, I started building websites. And then as time went on, I started leading website teams. And as the job got bigger, the title got bigger. And so I have been involved in and led builds for major brands that you have in your house right now. I was in the sporting goods industry and I did some of the brands that you have sitting in your garage right now. I also led the team at a large library. Then when I left that last job and I wanted to start my own business, I named my business very quickly. So I knew that I had a few skills and I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to be doing. But what I did know is that I didn't want to be in corporate anymore. And I knew that I needed to start making money. So I needed some sort of a name so that I could start making money. And I was not going to let that hold me up. I was not going to spend weeks thinking about how do I combine this skill set with this skill set. I decided I was going to go out there and let the market tell me what they needed from me. So the people who want me to work with them and work for them can tell me what they need from me. And so because of that, I named my business Kelly Coulter and Associates. And it has been Kelly Coulter and Associates ever since. So if you look at my legal registration papers, it says Kelly Coulter and Associates. Now, I've got a few DBAs. So we've got the Grow Your Fitness Business Group, right? I don't actually transact any money through that, so that doesn't have to be a doing business as or a DBA. I've got Fit Pros Connect. I do sell some things through that, so that does bring in money as Fit Pros Connect. That name came from the idea before COVID that I was going to create a large directory website and have everybody register so that I could have this platform that listed all of the instructors and trainers, regardless of their certification or format. I didn't end up pursuing that because when COVID happened, what people really needed was business coaching so that they could get their businesses started and go back to serving their people. So Fit Pros Connect, that's what that came from. Here's my point, y'all. Oh, yeah. And then I've got the Virtual Studio Business Accelerator. I've got the Sell Out Your Workout boot camps, all kinds of names out there. Those names came from what they do. And they did not come from me sitting around brainstorming or getting all cutesy about it. But you can sell your product, a product, something before you have a name. You can sell your product before you've got a logo, before you've got a brand. And you should. Because if you go out and I've seen people do this actually. I've seen people go out and invest tens of thousands of dollars in huge branding projects before they've started serving their customers. So, what I suggest is you start serving your customers and you start getting to know them and learning what they want. And then you refine your product from there. Then you start thinking about a visual brand and a big naming project and all that. So I've seen people go out and spend tens of thousands of dollars on a visual brand, on a big website, on a color family, and all the things. And they're not in contact with their people. And then what happens is they start actually doing the thing. So they go to the people and they sell some things and they start actually doing the thing. And they realize that what they originally thought they would be selling or doing or teaching is not at all what they end up selling or doing or teaching. Your brand is going to change over the first 6 months to a year, maybe even longer, because you're going to continue to refine what you do over the first 6 months to a year. So it's okay to have a brand that reflects the fact that you're in the beginning stages, that maybe there's only one person working in this business, maybe it's just you. It's okay for your brand to be your name. It's okay for your I'm gonna I'm gonna choke on this one a little bit. It's okay for your brand to be your name and a picture of you. And here's why I'm gonna choke on that one a little bit. I used to do branding for real estate agents, and it drove me absolutely crazy that they all just wanted a picture of themselves as their logo. Because to me, I was stuck in this mindset that a logo had to be this graphic, not a photo, but like a graphic that somebody drew. And so I hated it when they would come to me and tell me that here's the picture that you're going to use for my logo. And I would be like, that's not a logo. A picture is not a logo. You can't embroider it on a shirt. And if you can't embroider it on a shirt, it's not a logo. And that was my mindset. But the truth is that your brand should reflect the size of your business and how many people are working in it. That is where real estate agents are actually getting it right because their brand is built around themselves. And so the logo is a picture of them. There is nothing that will allow your best clients to trust you faster than seeing a picture or a video of you. But in this case, we're talking about pictures. Okay, so we're not going to go out and spend $10,000 on a logo, right? We're going to start serving our people instead. We are going to create a brand that reflects the staffing of the business, which is probably just us. And by brand, I mean, if you go into Canva and do a logo, I mean the name of your business, all of the things, the really low level basic things that you think you need in order to start doing business. Now, here's another thing. You guys have seen this a lot in the gym when we are trying to name our classes. So you've got a 30-minute class on Saturday morning, and you're out there in the Grow Your Fitness Business group or some of the other forums, and you're saying, what's a great name for a class where I'm going to help them work on their butts and then we're going to do some abs, and then people will say, oh well, butts and guts or blah blah blah, and then there are all these cutesy names, and then sometimes people will come in and they'll say, well, I call mine getting it right. And getting it has nothing to do with working on your abs or your glutes or anything else that's a part of that. Getting it could refer to anything. When we get real cutesy with our names, people can't tell what we do or who we are. So I do suggest that if you're going to choose a name here in the beginning, that you name the business either after yourself or you name it after what you do. So the name of my Facebook group is Grow Your Fitness Business because I want people who want to grow their fitness businesses. That's who I want joining the group, right? The name of my 12-month signature program is the Accelerator because I want people who want to make their first 50 to 100,000 in that group. The name of my business kickstart is the Sell Out Your 2022 Business Kickstart because I want people who have either already started their business and want to get it kickstarted, or I want people who haven't started their businesses yet and need that extra information and push in order to get their business started. So it's a kickstart, kicking them in the tush. Okay, any questions on that before we move on? I'm watching you guys in the comments. Bring me your questions. Let me know what you've got. I want to talk about big boxes. So I want to talk for a minute about Peloton and Beachbody because a lot of times we do this. We see Peloton has a big logo. Let me do it this way. So we look at what bigger, larger, more successful, more mature businesses are doing, and then we emulate that in our own marketing. So there tends to be this big block in our minds that we can't start our business until we have this super profesh logo. And then we go out and we make something that just maybe looks or mimics Peloton's. And we look at the bank and we look at all the big gyms and we say, okay, it's got to be something that combines all of these elements, right? So here's the thing about big businesses and specifically about the big box fitness businesses. When we're talking about the big box fitness businesses, we're talking about maybe 10 companies who are all competing for the same 20% of the market. So there's around 20%, maybe less, maybe more because of COVID and because of home workouts, but around 20% of the population has an existing workout practice in place. So around 20% of the population is doing some sort of exercise on a regular basis. That is the segment of the population that those 10 big box gyms and workout providers have to compete for because they are putting a ton of money and effort into marketing, into research and development, and into customer satisfaction, customer relations, all of that kind of stuff. So, in order for their business model to work, they can't have a product that comes out and only sells to like 100, 200 people. They need to have a couple 100,000 members at all times in order for their businesses to work. So their businesses have got to work at scale. They've got to have a lot of people in there. And their business only works at scale if they can be sure that what they're putting out there is going to sell. And so they have to market and compete for that same segment of the population because that's the segment that they are going to sell to. They're less likely to sell one of their products to the 80% of the population that does not have an existing workout practice in place. I want you to contrast that to the way that we do business as individuals. So we are all individuals or small teams, and we are going direct to consumer and providing workouts. We have a completely different reach because if I put a product out there and I only sell 100 subscriptions to it, I'm going to do a friggin' happy dance all the way to the bank, right? If I'm selling a monthly subscription at $50 and I sell 100 of them, I'm going to be pretty darn happy with that for a little while at least, right? So we have a different level of reach, and it also means that we can serve specific niche populations more effectively, more efficiently, and with more passion and with more consistency because we can serve them. Those big boxes can't serve them. So the market that you are looking to serve is totally different. Let me know if that makes sense. Not only because you can reach into the 80% and they really can't, but also because you can reach into the niche populations within the 80% and the 20%. Okay, so the way that this works is that there are millions and millions of people in this world who have been marginalized by the traditional fitness industry model. People like your Aunt Susie, who won't go to the gym until she loses 20 pounds, right? People like um, your your great aunt Beth, who only does walking, people who have specific injuries, people who are at specific stages of life, people who have diastasis recti, people who have had rhabdomyolysis, people who have specific chronic diseases, MS. Maybe you have experience with these sorts of things, Parkinson's. These are all people that we have the specific expertise and education and experience to serve. And now we are no longer limited by geography because we are online. So we can reach our tentacles as fitness instructors with special skills into different populations than those big boxes are willing or able to serve. So let me know if that makes sense to you. What that means is that the big boxes are completely different from us in terms of the way they market. It means their value proposition What they are offering is different. And it means that their marketing strategies are different because their audience is different. So it means you do not have to look or be as super profesh as Peloton whenever you put a message out there to the world. It is okay for you to just get started. And I'm going to go on a little bit of a side right now because I was talking to my business kickstart about this week. The other thing about that is that as you are starting to develop your message, I always suggest that we develop an audience and that we do one gold nugget piece of content every week so that you're really adding value to a specific audience. And then you allow that audience to be assembled around that gold nugget piece of content, right? When you assemble an audience, that is your $1 million asset in this world. Those people will stay with you. They will love you. They will encourage you. They will support you. They will forgive you when you mess it up. They will send you letters of encouragement. They will send you thank you cards. They will send you Christmas cards. Your audience is your people, and they are going to stay loyal to you. Does that mean they will never do a Peloton workout? No, it doesn't. They may do a Peloton workout, but it's fine because they're still your people. Let me know if you've got any questions on that one. Put them in the comments or send me a DM. All right, so the third point I want to make to you about your branding and how it should suck is the idea that you are still in audience development and learning mode until you have made your first $100,000. So, three stages of business. There's a bottom stage where you're really building everything. Everything that you do is kind of the first time you've done it. It feels really intense. It's hard. You're working long hours. This is the stage where you're really getting to know the people that respond to you and you're figuring out how to serve them and you're refining your offer. Then in the second stage, that's where you can leverage all of that information that you have now learned about your audience and you can extend it and take it further and you can grow faster because now you know your audience. And then the third stage is maturity. So, what maturity means is that you're able to step away from the business and it will survive. We only build businesses for one of just a few reasons. Either because you want to sell it or you want to pass it along to your kids. Nobody builds a business so that they can shut it down, right? So at maturity, you're able to either sell it or pass it on to your kids or whoever you want. So the beginning stage, audience development, lasts until 100,000 because that's where you're developing your one offer that you're going to sell to your one audience until it works, until you've sold a whole shit ton of it, until you've made $100,000. That's when you know you can move out of audience development and into leverage. So you are still in learning mode until you've made your first $100,000. You're still getting to know your audience deeply because the more you know your audience, the more you will empower that leverage phase. And what that means is that at the end of your audience development phase, you may very well have a lot of ideas about how you want to change that brand. So if you made a huge investment, if you pulled out a second mortgage or took money out of your kids' college funds in order to pay somebody 10 grand, 20 grand, 50 grand to do a huge branding and tech project for you, it's very likely that within that first year, within that first $100,000, you're going to want to change everything about it. So just hit the brakes and keep it simple at first. Let it suck. It's going to be okay. All right. So today we talked about naming your business and selling without a brand. So just calling it what it is and just selling it. We talked about how the big boxes are completely different from you. Their market is different, their value is different, their offer is different, and that's a good thing. So you don't have to have a visual brand or messaging or social media posts or videos or anything that look like those big brands. And then the third point that I made to you is that you are still in audience development mode until your first $100,000. And that's a good thing. But you do not want to develop something that costs a ton of money and time and resources during that first part. You want to save it for after that. Okay, so a lot of these ideas that I was giving you today came from me teaching the Business Kickstart last week. So if you don't know about my Business Kickstart, it is a 4-day online training that we do within a private Facebook group. And at the end of that 4-day training, I do some bonus content. We stay together, I answer questions, everybody's taking action. This round, y'all, I had somebody make 1,500. I had somebody just get a $1,200 sale yesterday. I had another who sold her first 3 clients. I had others who added a lot of clients. We had a ton of action in this group. It was amazing. So good. So good. So that group, I am not shutting it down like I normally do. So the January cohort of the Sell Out Your 2022 Business Kickstart, normally this is the Tuesday that I would shut it down and take everybody out of the group and it would be gone. But I'm not doing that this time. I'm leaving it up and it's going to be evergreen. So that means that if you are sad that you missed it, if you're having FOMO, you can go in, you can still register and you can get into that group and you can watch all the videos and do all the things and make all the progress. So you can still make $500 this week by joining that Sell Out Your 2022 Business Kickstart. All you need to do is go to fitprosconnect.com/kickstart. I will put that into the comments. It's fitprosconnect.com/kickstart, and you can register and then you'll be let into that group and then you can still go through all the videos. They're all in the guides. Everything is there. All right. So, y'all, I would love to hear about your thoughts on everything we talked about today. I'd love to hear what you think. Please comment. Please contribute to the conversation, even if you're watching in the replay. Give me a hashtag replay. Let me know that you're here and contribute to the conversation. If you are watching on YouTube, please be sure to like and subscribe. And if you are watching on Facebook, I want you to make sure that you're inside the Grow Your Fitness Business for Instructors, Trainers, and Coaches group, because that is where we network, support, and train. And I cannot wait to serve you there. All right, that is what I have got for you today. On Thursday, I will be on Instagram Live at the same time, 3:00 p.m. Eastern, and I will have Jono, I'm going to butcher his last name, Petroholis, I think, with Fitness Education Online with me. And we are going to be talking about making 6 figures as an online fitness entrepreneur. All right, y'all, I will see you there.